Shalom. I'm going to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And salutations to the brothers that's teaching this truth and sincerity. And shalom to the hopeful elect. And the 1/3, the sincere listeners. Alright, Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God. And Yahushai being the name of his Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. This gospel, this truth, the kingdom of heaven is salvation. It's for the Israelites and the Israelites only, who are you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and the ones scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth that may look like the other nations. Where your spirit resonates with this truth, you're more than most likely an Israelite, going back to one of the 12 patriarchs. All right, the kingdom of heaven, salvation is for you. All right, this video is going to be a response to this video. I'm going to title it something along the lines of oh man, power went out. Hopefully the Wi-Fi is still good. Anyways, I'm going to title it something along the lines of the black woman blames men and the patriarchy when really she needs to, but doesn't want to single out the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, for his wicked ways. All right, and before I play the video, or I'm going to give a disclaimer, I did watch the video. Esau is talking some sick, perverted stuff that she's doing a review on, okay? But what her problem is that she's putting this on all men, and that's not so. Okay, she doesn't want to call out the truth. She doesn't want to call out the Epstein, the people of Epstein, the so-called white people. All right, they're all Epsteins. Okay, they like to act like they're not. They're all Epstein. They all have Epstein genes in their ideologies. Okay, but her herself is her platform is about decentering men, and she's a witch as well. I'm gonna show you that on her profile. We're gonna go take a look at her profile after this video. Okay, but I have a problem with her not calling out the true problem on the earth. Okay, that's what my problem is with this video. I don't agree with this wickedness that's being said, but Israelite men are not like that. Okay, and I'm not saying there's not wicked of our people that are doing off stuff. However, even the wicked of our people wouldn't hop on no camera and say no wicked shit like that. Okay, even Jake in the entertainment industry, even though they do wickedness, they want to do their wickedness in the dark. Right? They still have, even though they're wicked, the Lord's going to judge them, the Lord's going to kill them. Okay? However, they still want to keep their wicked deeds in the dark. Esau get online and say some wicked shit out in the open, and nobody bats an eye. She's not really batting an eye. And like I said, she's a witch. But who allows her to be a witch? The so-called white man. A man allows you to be a witch, but decenter men, right? Okay, because in a true patriarchal society, witches would not exist. Okay, but you have a problem with the patriarchy. Woman, this is the most freedom you've ever had in your life. Okay, but you have a problem with the way the world is set up. You're not set up to be a judge. Okay, you're not set up to be somebody that you can discipline, so to speak. You have no moral compass, man. You don't have the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You're a witch. What do you know? Okay, let's play this video. I'm gonna interject, and then yeah. But like as you can see, the hashtag decenter men, PDF. But this is only for Esau. Fatherhood, joking around, patriarchy, right? But this should be calling out the so-called white man. Shouldn't be calling out. You shouldn't be lumping in men as a whole and patriarchy. This has nothing to do with the patriarchy. Okay? Fuck that, man. Anyways, let's play this.
I know what I'm about to say to you, and I know that you're going to go, what? He goes, there's a lot of things people don't tell you about parenting, especially dads. A lot of people keep dads in the dark. Like, first time you hang out and hold your kid by yourself, you're going to get hard.
And that's just not funny. What the fuck is that? Who says some sick, perverted shit like that, bro? Okay? And so, like I said, she's trying to be on some, oh, look at these men, they're so, you know, like, yeah, okay, true. But this is a so-called white man. You can't put this on all men. Okay? You cannot put this on all men. So-called black man ain't coming up on no fucking podcast saying some wicked shit like that. And Jake is wicked. They ain't saying no shit like that. So you cannot put that on all men. Okay? And that's why righteousness is going to be established on this earth, man. By men. Patriarchy. Righteous men. The so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American man. The Israelite man. That's what righteousness is going to be established. And ain't gonna be no witches to be judging either, man. Because we're going to be putting witches to death. Simple and plain. Alright? She's sitting up on a high horse trying to lump all men in this, man. I'm judging you too, bitch. Okay? Fuck those wicked ass crackers, man. Those are Edomites, so-called white people. Wicked. Okay? They're wicked. Okay? Talk about the race of people that are wicked, that are ruling this earth. Who's ruling this earth? Okay? The so-called white man. He's in charge of shit. Okay? Everybody else just follows. If other nations are wicked, it's because the who's at the head. Everybody's just following the top. Okay? But if a righteous ruler was in charge, okay, people will be more inclined to do good. But we have a wicked ass, demonic ass, perverted ass, sick ruler, man. The so-called white man. All right, we're calling a spade a spade. We're not sugarcoating nothing. All this Epstein crap, all that Epstein bullshit you guys are talking about, seeing what they were doing, man. All that stuff was happening on the plantation to our people. You know what I mean? This girl could be a tear anyways. Who the fuck knows? Right? But for argument's sake, I'm calling her Eve. Okay? So why don't you consider all the wicked shit that was going on in the plantation that happened to our people? When the slave master was buck breaking men, having men sleep with their mothers, motherfucking, right? That's where the term motherfucker comes from. Okay? The slave master was raping children, boy or girl. Why don't we call that shit out? Why don't we call out that wicked shit? And who was doing that? It was so-called white people. That sick, demonic, perverted shit. So let's call a fucking spade a spade. It's not stop beating around the fucking bush. Okay, I'm not here for all that. And I can't wait for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai to come back and set order upon this earth, man. And Lord will, I'm a part of that 144,000, so I can bring forth that judgment as well, man. I can take part in that. Because this is demonic. I don't like this narrative that's going on against men, you know. But you're gonna be looking for a man to be saving you in that time, and no man's gonna come save you. Men are gonna remember this shit.
It gets better. So I didn't know any better, so I just listened to him, and I'm holding my kid, going, "How come I'm getting hard? I want to be hard."
That's Esau for you, man. A sick pup, bro. I mean, you can't even call him that, man. This is Psalms 58:3. So-called white man. Psalms 58:2. Yeah, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. So-called white man. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Okay? So you're not right from the day you were born, nigga. Alright? That's the so-called white man. He's an ultimate liar, man. You catch him in a lie. Alright? You catch him in a lie. He's still lying, man. Okay? He's like, he knows how to switch. He knows how to humble down. Okay? He knows how to be passive aggressive. All that weird shit that he does. Okay? Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. All right, and all that which you just heard was poison, man. Demonic sorcery being broadcasted, man, as if that's normal, as if that's normal, man. That's demonic. That's sickening, man. And I want to execute judgment for that, but wait ye upon the Lord. You see what I'm saying? But that's why we need a Yahweh Shem Yahushua to return, man. And then you got this, this girl. Oh, why don't you do the video without all that makeup on? She's sitting on her high horse, and she, you know what I'm saying? And call out the real demon. Call out the so-called white man. Don't call out men for this shit. This is not a manly trait. This is sickening, man. The fuck are you guys on, man? And guess what? The Lord is a man of war, eh? Because you people have this problem with men and war and all this stuff, fighting, da da da. The Lord's gonna bring war, eh? All this theater shit is gonna be over with. And when the MOTB gets implemented, real war is gonna be on the horizon, man. Real war. You're gonna know when it's real, man. Right now it's drone warfare, missile warfare, whatever, man. It ain't shit right now, man. I'm talking real boots on the ground, all of that. All that shit's coming, man. All right, you wait and see. But you know.
I thought something was wrong with me. And I was like, don't leave. My dick got hard when I held my kids.
Yeah, that's enough, man. Fuck all this. Esau, you're a sicko, man. You're gonna be destroyed. Alright, but let's go to the comments. Because any men in the comments section who can explain this one to us? Why are you talking about men? You don't see two white people here? It's two Edomite men. So-called white. The beacon of righteousness. That can do no wrong. Nobody's calling them out. All the stuff that's coming on Epstein, you guys are not calling that out. But you want to lump all men together, man. The so-called black man has nothing to do with this shit. Okay? Get that shit out of your mind. Is there diddlers among so-called black people? Yes. Okay? We're not denying that. Alright? But we live in an unrighteous society. And nowhere near the amount of diddlers of the so-called white man. That's just his nature. It doesn't happen. For a real man, that doesn't happen. Okay? So don't come here with that bullshit trying to lump men all in together with that weird shit. This is a damn lie. The older I get, the more I understand why our moms and aunties always enforce modesty to girls when male relatives are around. It's sad. They knew. That's a damn lie. Okay? You women dress however the fuck you want. So don't act like your parents of today enforce modesty. Get the fuck out of here. And then you have black people say, so you can't even trust the dad. Like, are you sick? Are you fucking sick? Did your dad do that to you? So why the fuck would you even think that like that? Cause she wouldn't say that if her dad didn't do that to her. And I'm not saying that shit doesn't happen. Cause we live in a wicked ass world. And all that shit needs to be judged. But you cannot put men as the reason why this is going as a whole. It's the so-called white man. Men's jokes. Man, what? That's not a man's joke. This is not a man's joke. they should be investigated. But nobody investigates the so-called white man. The so-called white man can do no wrong. And then lump all men, right? Just lump all men, right? All men. You have women not. Oh, I will never be a mom. Bitch, you were a feminist anyways. You never wanted to have children anyways. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, don't blame this on men. You guys are fucking weirdos. Okay? Am I the only one not seeing men in the comments? Ain't nobody had time to be commenting on this dumb shit. She probably with a white man. Anyways, who gives a fuck? Oh my gosh, these people are acting. I'm done with the comments, bro. But let's just go to this girl's page so you know what the fuck she's about. Your internet big sister, a witch that haunts XYs. So men, right? So we have the XY chromosome. A Jezebel that receives men's money. A future cat lady with wisdom. Right, so honestly, she is a bit of a rage baiter. You know, I can't even let this really get me mad for real. But she's gonna be destroyed, man. And the scriptures say so, so whatever. Roster dating series. What stripping taught me. Yeah, so she just hates men, but also loves Esau and the freedom that Esau gives her to allow her to do what she does. Because Esau allowed her to have a roster. So you hate the patriarchy, but you're able to have the, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, whatever, man. You love the serpent's freedom though. Alright? So who gives a fuck? I'm just letting you know the mindset of it. This bitch is not on no fucking moral compass. And she's trying to be on some high horse like she's a beacon of righteousness. But shut the fuck up. That's why, when all hell break loose, everybody gonna shut the fuck up. Ain't gonna be no talking, ain't gonna be no podcast, ain't gonna be no video, vlogging, no nothing, man. No going live. All that shit gonna be dead. You feel me? Give a fuck about any of that shit. This is Micah 7 and 10. I'll start at 9. I will bear the indignation of the Lord Yahweh because I have sinned against him until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light and I shall behold his righteousness. Alright, yeah. We're gonna, we gotta endure all things, man. This is part of the indignation, man. Going through this, having to receive, having to be in this flesh, see all the wickedness taking place and can't do nothing about it. Right? And on top of that, having to receive the hardships of the flesh, the day-to-day mundane life, whatever, not being able to really truly live in this world, that's part of bearing the indignation, this walk, taking up this cross, right? Servant not being greater than the master, right? Because before the kingdom, we got to receive hell, so to speak. We got to receive hell, man. Simple and plain. Whatever the hell is, every brother in his walk has a tailored hell, right? Every tailored towards what your spirit can handle, what your spirit can endure, right? Verse 10, then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her. All right, it's the point. She that is my enemy. That woman is an enemy. Okay, the enemy of Yahweh Shem Yahushai and the enemy of the Israelite man. She's most likely a Eve anyways, so that demon. And she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord Yahweh thy God? Mine eyes shall behold her, Now shall she be trodden down as the mire in the streets, shit in the streets. Yeah, she's gonna be trodden down. She's gonna be judged. She's gonna have to eat her words, right? Nobody wants to call out the so-called white man, but you want to lump everything out with you know, you don't want to look racist, right? You don't want to be racist. No, call out the white man, because that's what the fuck it is. That's the fucking truth of the matter. But you want to lump men into that fucking shit, man. Or it's gonna kill you, man. Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye knew that afterward, when he would inherited the blessing, he was rejected. Yeah, Esau's a reject, so that's why he does the stuff that he does now. Okay, and he's a fornicator. He's outside of the temple. He's profane. Okay, he's outside the temple. All the stuff that he does is wickedness, man. You know. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears, but he never received it. Okay, and so how he copes is just by doing wickedness, because that's what the Lord set him up to be, anyways, the vessel of evil. And the Lord is in control of all these things, man. All right, but the Lord created the righteous, which were the Israelites, and the elect amongst the Israelites, and then He created the other nations, who were meant to be in line under the Israelites. Okay, but it just so happened that, you know, right now we're under our enemies. Okay, but we're gonna get back that power and that order again. Okay, in the kingdom to come, and everything's gonna be set all right. Ain't gonna be no weird shit like that happening in our kingdom. Okay, we'll make sure of it too. Exodus 22 and 18 says, "Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live." All right, simple and plain. Exodus 22 and 18, NLT, I believe, or CSB. CSB. Do not allow a sorceress to live. All right, exactly, man. It's simple and plain. You got to put the witch to death. Deuteronomy 18 and 10. There shall not be found among you any one that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord Yahweh, and because of these abominations, the Lord thy God Yahweh doth drive them out before thee. All right. So the Lord ain't dealing with none of that, man. Okay, and which I'm not, like I said, I ain't playing the rest of that video. It's gonna go even longer, that video, but fuck that. You see what I'm saying? All that was witchcraft, you know. And that woman, you know, the Lord not gonna have her be on the earth for much longer, man. She might get drafted for all we know. Esau gonna have a fucking a seventh brand in the military, the witch coven, you know, the witches and warlock coven. Even Esau gonna need you to work some magic for his war, man. Isaiah 47. Stand down with thine enchantments. All right. So be prepared to die in the war, man. Real shit. Women gonna get drafted too. Okay, under the patriarchy, women get drafted, right? Yeah. under Esau's patriarchy, so called. But in our kingdom, women don't have to worry about going to war. Right? In our kingdom, no, ain't nobody got to worry about going to war, because the war to end all wars is coming, baby. Okay, the war to end all wars is coming. You know what I mean? So you don't have to worry about no war. You don't have to worry about the evil patriarchy. You're not gonna be talking about the Israelite man. I know that in the kingdom. All right. Please. I don't want this one. think this. It's Ecclesiasticus 10:1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. Right. And right now, the judge of the people is the so-called white man, Epstein and friends. All right. So and his officers. And what manner the ruler of the city is, such are all that dwell therein. Monkey see, monkey do. So if the leader is wicked, the rest of the people are gonna be wicked. But what's the race of the people that's running the show? They're white. They're Edomites. Okay, so-called white people. So that's who you need to put the blame on first and foremost. All right. Anything else? If you see Jake doing his learned behavior from the so-called white man, Esau is the one in power. Okay, it's not that Jake not just doing no wicked shit like that, man. You see, in our kingdom, man, there's gonna be order, man. We're gonna be chopping shit down. You want to live, do right. If you don't want to live, you're gonna die. That's it. If you don't want to live right, you're gonna die. Simple and plain. You don't follow the rule, you don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you will die. Okay? The wages of sin is death. Simple and plain. Judgment. That's it. We're not playing games. We're not beating around the roots. We're not winking at no wickedness. Okay? We're just gonna be committing judgment. Just executing judgment all day, man. In the kingdom, man. And that's gonna let off a lot of steam for us too. We gotta chop off heads, whatever, so to speak. You did some wicked shit, all right. Or sometimes you're gonna get stoned too. Whatever. Gather everybody around. Gather the heathen around to see who somebody gets stoned to death. It is what it is. To see this witch get put to death, burnt at the stake. It is what it is. It says, "An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority of the city shall be inhabited. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable, Yahweh Shai." Okay? In due time, that's what we're waiting on. We're waiting on the Lord to set up one that is profitable. Alright? This is Job 9:24. So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Alright, so the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man. The so-called white man. He's the one in charge of the earth right now. Alright, so he's the blame for wickedness. Not men. Not the patriarchy. So-called white man. Alright. So with that, I'm going to say shalom. Or very edifying to the next one.